Hello, hello, hello. Right, as you can see, this here is an anaconda. We all want to know how to get one. Future me, no, past me, is now going to join a private group session. This is important for trading. You can create one. I happen to have one that someone else set up because why not? The point is you will not encounter non-friendly other commanders in a private group session. And back to current present me. There'll be a short version of this, split up in shorts, probably as a small video, because this is going to be a long program, but worth every second. Now, you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there that we are in Betis Secundis system. That's important information for right now. Take note of where you are in the universe before you do the next step. Over on the browser, if you visit inara.cz, it's a library, relatively up to date. I believe there's modules that you can install onto your machine that help scrape the data from, as you can see, Elite Dangerous, Starfield, Kingdom Come, and MMORPG Space. No idea. I've not clicked any of the others because they're not important to me. Elite, however, is. So, in there, you can look for trade routes. Go back to that again. Elite Dangerous, you've got the trade routes icon here. Click on the trade routes. Now, I'm driving Anaconda, which if we scroll over to a menu here, I have, for some reason, 7 silver in my inventory. No idea why. But my maximum capacity is 448 items, or tons, as Elite calls it. That number's going to come in handy. Now, there's a lot of advanced additional settings here. This works no matter what ship you're flying in. So you can start with the original Sidewinder with, what is it, 2 or 4 cargo slots. You can make money from this. In a Sidewinder starting out, personally, I'd go bounty hunting, find a resource extraction zone, find it low intensity, and look for bounties with a kill warrant scanner, and just make a bit of cash, get out of that Sidewinder to something that can take a few more slots. I've been playing on and off for, when did it come out? 10 years? And have only in the last 2 weeks managed to purchase myself an Anaconda. So we're going to start with our system. Betis Secundis. Pronunciation is going to be awful. Max route distance. I don't particularly like to go more than 20 light years, but that doesn't matter because it will throw up all sorts of weird options. 448 cargo capacity. I'm driving an Anaconda, so I will want a large landing pad. Sometimes with minimum supply, you can find something that's highly profitable, but there's not a lot of it. If you've got 20 of something available in the system, not really going to be any use when you're on a bigger ship. You can do it on smaller ships and you can make some serious profit very quickly. But if we say 500 units, that sort of guarantees I've got at least one full trip on this route. Max station distance, that's the amount of light seconds that station is from the center of the star, which is usually where the nav beacon is. Minimum demand, I don't really care about the minimum demand as long as they're selling. Best profit is a useful search term if you don't mind flying a long way. Distance is based off of where you currently are. So your Betis Secundis, if you sort by distance, it will show you the nearest highly profitable route out of all of your settings. I don't care about source station power. I don't care about target power because I'm not aligned with people in the power plays at the moment. So we're going to hit search on that. Right now, that is telling me that if I do it close to BT Secundis, which, as it happens, seems to show a station near me, I can visit a nearby system, HIP 30243, land at Huish Orbital, and buy some palladium. 47,000 credits apiece. They have 10,000. I can do that for a while. I can sell that to Betis Secundis for about 11,000. These prices are 23 hours old, so your mileage may vary. From there, I can buy some consumer technology at 6,000 credits and sell it for 7,000 credits, which is nice. However, after a few upgrades and make serious money, switch your order by best profit. If you know someone with a fleet carrier, or you're friendly with anyone, or you happen to find a fleet carrier going your direction, you can see here that my distance is 214 light years away. That's an amount of travel. But instead of 15 million profit an hour, now I'm making 57 million profit an hour. And the stations are still pretty close to each other. They will always be within 1 or 2 jumps because of your 20 light year range. If I crank my 20 light year range, 60, 57 million profit. Apparently it goes down, which is weird. Never mind. It's basically how far you're willing to fly per jump. Why is that going down? Best profit. I wonder if that's profit per trip that's gone up. Best profit per hour. 58. There we go. Yes, it's profit per trip. So I don't like to fly that far because it sort of kills some of the profitability. So we've got a nice 57 million profit per hour at HIP 1049, 1094.79. We're going to come back to the elite. Drop off our galaxy map. Now search bar, we're going to search for HIP 1094.79. Click on that. Now that's a long stretch. It says I'm going to do 13 jumps. Now I did find a setting here. Reckons I'm going to do 42 jumps. But because I've done some upgrades, I can go for fastest route with big jumps. It uses a lot more fuel per jump, but shouldn't be that much of an issue. Or you can do FSD boost, but I don't know which FSD I have access to. For unavailable reasons. Your mileage may vary with these. Now, I also like to crank up the amount of units I'm carrying, just because it gives a... That's on my route, damn you. $18 jump. Because what that's going to do is it's going to alter the amount of weight I'm carrying at the time of me doing it. It reduces my jump rate. Yes, it extends me to 18 jumps, but that's not really. Now, for me, this is going to take a while. You? Only a few seconds. Very much for that. tend to get bored with auto launch because it's far too polite and waiting for people to enter because there's a queuing system. And the Anaconda is big. I've not switched to another view yet, but the Anaconda is big. Like, you see that geezer there? Very well. Low. Oops. Go there for the launch. Now, one thing you will see is I've just switched on to D-scanner mode. My primary A, because I've got no weapons on board at the moment. When you're outfitting for trading missions, fill up all of your available slots with cargo rack. I have downgraded from, I think it's either a level 6 or level 6 or 7 shields. I've turned it down to a level 4 because who needs lots of shields? I'm on a private server. I don't even technically need shields, I think. I'm on a private server. I'm not going to get random commanders doing FSD interdictions on me, trying to steal my cargo. We'll still get the NPCs doing it. Still get the NPCs doing it from time to time, but NPCs are relatively easy to get past. I'm supposed to through. But for now, we don't need any. We're about as maxed out as we're going to get at the moment. So, we want to buy, according to Inara, Bertranite for under 2,000. Scroll down, we find Bertranite. They've got the price right. I'm going to buy them for 759, so 3/4 of a mil.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Cargo hold is full. Exit. Exit. Galaxy map. You don't always have to go to the galaxy map. Sometimes it's close enough to appear in your feed on the left. H. How do you spell in that? H. J. Really. Next jump, so it's one skip away. Big skip. Good news, but it's one skip. More money. 10 million to rebuy. That's not that much. 13 million available. Let the auto dock. The auto dock invaluable. Docking with a big ship is a nightmare. And I've been playing this since before the auto docking. There's a lot of it. You don't need to put the debt to the system. Let's face it, as we all know, in real spaceships, things are done automatically. We were going to title this video Beast Mode Trading, but there's not really anything that beastly. My own profit margin. And my next property mission will be based off of a more notable route than 14 jumps. However, He's earning over 1 billion credits. I think Harry yet value you can buy one. Have one of those. Basically pull the limits off, and it takes 15 minutes for the machine to for the spaceship to jump. With all of your ships on board. There is Shockley. Under the nappy. I'll put a link to my controller in the description. Turns out my most viewed video so far is my controller video that is old. Like, very old. Still getting decent view. However, kind of out of date. Don't use whatever controller I was using then. And this Thrustmaster is sick.
Landing gear deployed.
Far too many buttons. Most of them are pre-configured. I think I had to remap some for targeting. So many on. Use some used buttons. There's a few wheels and scrollers that I can't use because eventually they're not discovered useful. They're not mapped to anything, but I always do that wherever I land. Repair everything and refuel, fill up on ammo if combat mode. So we're currently at 13 million balance. We're going to sell these. 9 million. Which is slightly less. It's about 100 credits less than what Inara suggested, but close enough. Apparently I could probably do it there at that 100 credit difference, but it doesn't matter.
Incoming message.
An entrepreneur with 20 million in the bank. Now that I'm in the area, we've done the first set of jumps. Ceramic composites will apply. $95, which Inara reckons is the value I should be buying them for. But it does reckon Inara reckons I should be selling these back at 9,485, which is the same amount. Scroll down, one jump away, which means it should be in here. Board hip. And 9,479. And 9,479. Correct. Destinations obscured by the planet, as is quite often the case.
3, 2, 1.
Trooper cruise. And what we will do, we'll put a little total up on the screen, and almost certainly in the description as to how much moolah we've made.
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Works on small ships, works on bigger ships, basically keep progressing through the ships as soon as you can afford it. If you're on a private server, if you're flying sensibly, not the naff flying I've been doing where I didn't crashing into planets and space stations. If you're flying sensibly, you can probably afford to do it without shields. Definitely create a private group, which prevents, on the rare occasion you find another commander, anyone trying to steal your cargo. And be careful when doing that, but upgrade as soon as you can safely. Try and make sure you've always got a rebuy cost, although I violate that myself. While we're here, we're going to sell these. And now we see our total of 22,951,444. To continue your journey, buy more of what you've been told to buy. Have a look at some of the other products. Maybe there's something else that's got big profit margins that Inara hasn't yet been updated about. I've not seen an Inara thing any more up to date than a few minutes. That database may change, the economy may change, you might run out of items to buy. We've got 800 here now. There was less than that when I came first time, I think. That's a poor purchase price, yet somehow we're making decent money. So anyway, have fun, commanders, earn lots of money, and hopefully I'll see more of you in Anacondas very soon.